Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. You may or may not have seen my recent birthday live stream for 2024. If you haven't, it was because of many technical difficulties that made it hidden in the algorithm. So because of that, I decided to make this video instead to give a recap of all the sets that I built during that live stream for those who did not get the chance to catch it. The second set that I built is the Lego Minecraft set, the Steve's Desert Expedition. As you can see, I already built this and I built this on a live stream. So let's take a quick recap of that and the build experience without the instructions. And now let's take a look at the finished product in more detail compared to what we were able to see on the live stream. So basically you have only one building phase here. There's no multiple numbered bags or anything like that. You got these mobs, Steve plus this terrain. Let's start with Steve. We have Steve in Lego Minecraft for many, many years, but now he's sporting a new look with the bandana around his eyes. At least I think that's what it is. The rest of the figure is exactly as you would expect, same as before. And the weapon here is pixelated as is usual in the Lego Minecraft style. So yeah, it's a nice different expression that we got for Steve, and yeah, he looks to be very, very happy to be in this new world. So who is Steve going to interact with? Well, we have this camel right here. It's labeled as a baby camel, and it's pretty cute. It's not that large compared to a figure, and I'll show you later how Steve is going to ride this thing. You have some prints here for the eyes as well as for the nose and mouth, and it's using these pieces here for the legs, which is appropriate, and the hump is done using a plate and a tile on top of it, so very blocky, very Minecrafty. Finally, we have this phantom, which comes on a clear stand, which is a very welcome addition. The eyes here are printed, and it's done in a consistent color scheme of blue, black, and gray. And it does have some pretty nice articulation because the head and tail are on ball joints. I'll just show you the articulation after taking it off the stand. So basically, because of the ball joints, you can move the head all the way down, all the way up. Same thing for the tail. And of course, side to side as well, so you can move the head all the way like this to the side, and same thing for the tail. That's pretty nice articulation to have for a build that uses so few pieces. And the wings can flap up and down a lot, so you can really pose this however which way you like. Of course, some poses are going to be better than others, but I'm glad that the freedom and the flexibility is there. And because of these holes at the bottom of the inverted tiles, we can put it on this clear stand, which is thankfully included with the set. And so we can just put this here, and that's a very good look right there. Usually you have to spend your own money to get your own pieces to accomplish something like this, so I'm very, very happy that LEGO gave us these two pieces out of the box. It just adds so much value, and it doesn't cost LEGO that much to include these pieces there. We looked at the baby camel, and here's how Steve would ride this thing. So basically we would remove either just these tiles. We could do this. We could do this and let Steve ride, or we could remove this piece as well, whichever one you prefer, and just make Steve ride the camel. I don't know if this is an intended use of the set, but this definitely does work, and that's a nice look right there. Steve on a camel, and we'll just assume that the camel is happy to have riders. It's easier when you assume that. Okay, so we've looked at Steve and the mobs. What about the terrain? Well, the terrain is very simple. There's not a lot of stuff to see here. And basically what you see is what you get here. You have a fire with two different kinds of flame. You have here a little bit of water. This plant here that looks like it's seen better days. This box, which actually is removable. You can move this around according to your preferences, but it's not really a box. There's not much to put inside here. It's really more for show than anything else. And actually, I built a much larger version of this box without the instructions. That's the LEGO Minecraft 18 Plus set, the crafting box. So if you're interested, check that out. You have here this cactus looking thingy, as well as a shelter. And basically Steve barely fits in this thing when he's standing. He has to let go of his weapon just to get in here while standing. It's pretty hard to pose him here. It's much easier to do it sitting down. And just as an analogy, think about if you're at a place where basically you look up and the roof is like straight in your face. Basically, the roof is like right above your head. So if you're ever in a situation like that, that's what Steve must feel like to live in a place like this. So even sitting down, it's hard to pose him at like an exact spot. So it's just easier to rip off the roof. This does not come off very easily, but you can kind of make it come off and then put it back. And even here, because of the slanted roof, it's pixelated, slanted, but you get the idea. Basically, because of this, like you can't even fit him here because he's too tall, or obviously here. So you can only fit him like right here, like these two studs. So even though it looks like a lot of usable space, a lot of this space is actually not usable. But this is much more for play, for kids, so that's not really the concern here. And I think this basically gets the job done to just give you a small taste of what LEGO Minecraft has to offer, because they put a lot of the budget for the mobs and the figure with the new printing. They also threw in this weapon, so the build kind of took a bit of a hit. And given the cost of the set, I don't mind that too much. Of course, if this was a little bit larger, I would have preferred that, but that would have bumped up the price. So it would no longer be a $10 US or $14 Canadian set. So I think that compromise is okay. I do wish that LEGO could move the numbers around a bit more and give us another minifigure in this set for the same price, but that's probably asking too much. They would have needed to get rid of 1 or 2 mobs to make that happen, or maybe get rid of the terrain entirely. So I do understand why LEGO did this. You cannot just look at the price per piece here. You have to look at the printed pieces. So this is a print, this is a print, this is a print, and it's actually a specialized piece. And here we have 2 printed pieces and a third one right here. So because LEGO Minecraft does not use stickers at all, they only use prints, that does limit their budget somewhat. And there's also the Minecraft license that LEGO needs to pay in order to use the brand and the specific things like Steve and the mobs. So I do think that overall the value is there, although if you can get this cheaper by 20%, 30%, that's always better, as usual. So yeah, that sums up my thought on this set. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you all in the next one.